Hello, hello. Welcome to today's episode of Devcast Ups. Today, you have the full gang back. You have Barnaby, who's looking like he can't see us. And then you have James,
Hello.
already ready to go. And you have myself, Wale. And today we are going to set up Consul DNS. Um, yeah, who wants to take over? Okay, definitely not Barnaby.
I
James.
suppose, to be fair, we are configuring the servers to use Consul DNS. Consul DNS should just be part of Console. We may need to do some setup depending on how we want to safely do our routing, but yeah, that's what we're doing. So, I suppose a quick recap of last time. I think last time we did the 2-hour, 3-hour stream.
I wasn't here.
Bank holiday.
Bank holiday. A little bit longer and got Console up. I don't think there was much to do, but the way these things work, it's always more complicated than it should be.
It was a few config things that we need to change, and we also decided that we wanted to give console persistent memory so that every time we wiped the VM, we didn't have to wipe a bit of the state file for Vault, so that the bootstrapping.
Yes.
Oh.
And we should
pay an extra for that, or where's that memory?
Yes, it's an extra disk, so slightly bit more. But with Postgres and that disk, that is this main server. We can restart it as often as we want, and it will just start working again.
Okay.
So, what I do for console, I have so console's up in this box. We can use dig to check DNS stuff. We want console.console. So this is the console service running in console, which I will show here. So it's this service. So we have to dig this, which this isn't us. So we want that to be the same as localhost. This one. So this is our local console that's running. And this is the kind of DNS response from it. So we want these two to be the same. And that's kind of where we're at. And then we should be able to talk to Vault by calling vault.console or vault.console.service, vault.service.console. There's lots of things that turn into it. But it means that we don't need to worry about external routing and external DNS for our internal services. They all just route through console. So yeah, that's the start. Obviously, I suppose the caveat is the initial bootstrap stuff we've done up till now we're not going to change, because if console doesn't start correctly, trying to get Vault and console to talk to each other via console, which isn't up correctly, will cause problems. So they can stay with IP. Everything else should be DNS. Yeah. So Ransom.
I want to add all the circular dependencies back into the platform again.
No.
Immediately after ripping them out.
We're going to restart the cluster a couple times. I think before we go, it's done and ready. We probably want to restart and spin it back up and have everything work without us touching it. Because we've automated, we may have to run Ansible, run Terraform, that stuff, but that's fine. Or at least have a very documented process of like how we spin it up. Cool. So I was going to shove this in the console agent file. So this is the one that gets run with every... No. The agent is the void. It's base. This has got the common config. And so this will run on the server and the client. So what we need, and I did have a sneaky thing with DNS. I'm just going to copy over here so I can get the file names correct. So how much of how DNS works in Ubuntu do you guys know?
Not much. I remember trying to fix some DNS and not getting very far at one point.
So
For me, it's more through Kubernetes. I'm learning it now, so yeah.
Kubernetes is a whole other board game.
Yeah.
So the tool, so in Ubuntu, it's the like base Linux one. There are things that live on top of it. There are things that mess with it. The base one is just, it's called Resolved. And we're going to hope that that's the one that Ubuntu uses and move on with our lives. You can use DNS mask and those sort of things, but they end up just putting files in the right place for Resolved. So, root not client with base. So, not metadata tasks. This needs to happen probably after console. Yeah, after we say console. I mean, I suppose I could make another role for this, but I think just baking it into the agent, baking it into base is fine.
Yeah, there's no issue in that. Also, if it's just config, it could probably happen before, but after
this will set up this will set up it so it uses console. So if this bit fails, if console doesn't start locally, they have issues. So I'm going to leave it after. We can move it around if needed.
Yeah, let's do TLS next.
Yeah. I mean, it may get a meeting just by its name. It's file, yeah. No. Oh, yeah, there we go. Path. Yeah. Directory.
This definitely reminds me of something I have. We must have been setting up name servers and custom DNS for a client at some point and remembering it. I remember if how the resolved works if you want. Essentially, you want to have multiple DNS name servers, and it would use some for internal domains, and then if it couldn't, and then if it wasn't internal domain, it would go to a Gen 1.
Yeah, so that's where this domains thing. I mean, I made I've copied this on a different file. I should just copy that file in. So that's what this does. So this goes, I believe, if the domain ends in console, use this. Otherwise, ignore it. And there's one thing that it says we need, which is DNS sec equals false. So this means AI told me console doesn't support it. So
Yeah, we trust AI.
DNSSEC sounds very security related.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. Do we want security? No.
Well, it sounds like a system that is new, and if console DNS doesn't support the new thing, it's like some of the cert verification stuff. Like lots of tools just haven't got around to installing it.
I love the new in quotations.
I mean,
the TLS stuff. It's like this was released in 2010, and the people just haven't got around to it.
This is I'm just trying to keep the same consistency. For it to work, you have to restart the service. Doesn't matter if we're in a Packer build, might as well just keep the same plan going. At a high level, this should be all we need.
This is where the real streaming begins. Troubleshooting.
Yeah, definitely. So something that we don't have in console set up, I don't think I care, is within console DNS, you can set resolvers. So we can actually have it. You don't have this domains bit. You just send all traffic to console. And then console if it's not a local domain, we'll send it out, which is nice and something we want to do in case a piece of traffic falls into here that shouldn't. And I may just set them out actually. So within the template, this is stuff that, oh, right, it's just connect. As long as I say it doesn't understand what we're doing, it's just in connect, so maybe it does understand what we're doing. Cursors equals. I was just going to hard code this. Do we want to do this properly, or do we happy with me just hard coding a value?
Properly.
It's not that much more effort to give it a variable if that is going to change.
That's fair.
Like there is some level of these roles. It would be nice if these roles were reusable for other people.
So that when you're doing your project, you can just grab it.
I mean, a large portion of my a home lab is DCO stuff. And then if I join, I should just copy this from what it's saying. This is trying to like generate the common separated list. Like that. So this will generate the. We can put in a list, Ansible list, and it will generate the list for us. I believe is what this does. Cool, and then I'm just going to do. This would be a default. Preference on DNS providers?
Cloudflare. 1111.
Yeah.
Don't try me.
So this is suggesting the correct thing you should do, which is use
And then,
different DNS providers for your two.
I have this as well, like that.
So this is primary Cloudflare, secondary Google.
Yeah.
Do you not want your entire system to fail when one of your DNS providers fails?
I mean, if your DNS is on Cloudflare, it's going to fail anyway.
That's fair.
My whole house is powered by my Raspberry Pi, so yeah, it's fun.
I keep trying to do more local DNS stuff. I think I have done some of it, but like barely. I need to do more of it at some point.
What I want to do more of is the firewall stuff in Unify. I still haven't got around to do that.
I've touched it barely, but then I realised I don't have IP that I can give people. So my firewall, setting up my firewall for external people doesn't really matter. I've not got it set up correctly. It's just.
I found when DNSSEC was first RFC'd. Do you want to take any guesses?
1985.
No, it's a little bit more recent than that. It's 2005, and there was an issue open in Consul in 2014 to get it to support DNSSEC.
Fair.
I don't know how much Hashi cares about Consul at the moment.
They don't try for it at all. I remember before when they used to come to the office, they didn't mention much of it. Was always Vault and
it's
Terraform.
Semi part of their like Kubernetes push, but I could.
Is people either use it very like you either have I think like telcos use it very extensively and have very complicated solutions using Consul and really make the use of it, or people just use it at a very sort of base level. So you either have people that can just pick it up off the docs, or people that need to work very deeply, that they don't have that kind of progression the way that you do the other products. So
I wonder if for OpenShift, if they're gonna, if Consul's going to become more aligned with that. I don't know if they use a different service mesh already. I would be curious if consoles going to come along to it.
Just I think a lot of this mesh is to more effectively network and permission their systems together. But the solution, the kind of solution of the firewalls and that stuff.
Speed. Like, an old school firewall. Most companies are still moving at the like, hey, it's going to take a month to let your services talk to each other. That's fine. So why do we care if we can do it in a minute versus an hour? The paperwork is the slow part.
I actually wonder how sort of AI adoption will affect that, whether it will force people to go faster or if anything, it will push them to going slower because they don't really know what's going on in the back end. So the bureaucracy almost becomes more important as to why you're doing something.
I would say it's the other way around, especially like they don't care. Like I'm talking about higher ups, they don't care what's going on in the background. They care about result.
So I think my client's quite interesting in that regard. It's not AI. It was doing it before, and it happens in other clients as well. There's a big split between old school systems and the digital cloud landscape, where you have the old systems that are still like, hey, we release once a year, look how fast we are. And then you have the digital people that are like, why aren't you releasing faster? Like, we release once a week, why aren't you faster? And I can see AI making that almost, we have like three camps where you got the AI people that want to run fast and break everything. You think of digital that are still kind of releasing once a day, once every couple of days. And then you got the like back-end services on-prem, the like old school Linux guys that are still like, why are we releasing? Like, it doesn't work. Why are we touching it? So I think it's going to be, I think that divide is just going to get worse because those guys that don't release quickly aren't going to want AI to touch what they're doing. So, but
yeah, critical systems stability is king.
yeah, and that's not what AI sells. But the front end to your website, that can be AI all you want. So that's going to probably run faster.
It's fine. We'll only get a few 404 pages and weird
I
text.
think what's actually interesting is people that are adding MCP servers MCP servers for their websites. So it's how does an AI interact with your website to get clients' information? Like, how could you use an AI to get your bank details?
Yeah,
or how much money you've got in your bank?
Is it not the way you set up MCP is through by giving it permissions to certain things? So you give it basically, I would say MCP is under the hood, it's skills where you say, okay, get transactions. So then when you use MCP, it can get transactions, make
Yes,
payments and all that stuff. So
your bank would set up an MCP server that you can authenticate to.
Yeah.
And you can then
use AI.
You can let your agent authenticate as you to that MCP server.
Yes.
And then it would be things around that of like skills and stuff. Though, granted, there's talk like MCP servers going away, and like I will never get an AI to send money.
The thing I was just thinking in my head is that, like, imagine you tell it 100 and it sends like 10K, which is overdraft and everything.
I mean, you hear the stories with the Amazon Echoes of like kid orders a £300 play set castle or like a doll's house because they were just asking the Echo about it, and then it asked it to order them or asked them to order it. Like,
this is why those things need to be muted, really, from kids.
That's why those things shouldn't be able to buy things.
Yeah.
So they also had it when it was like reported on that the kid had gone, Alexa, buy me a dollhouse, that all of the Alexas listening then triggered and attempted to buy more
Yes.
dollhouses.
But then
Well,
you know, like when you want to buy a dollhouse, just an example, right? Will there not be like on like different types, different
would
colors? How would they
It
have
just
known
picks
that?
the recommended one.
yeah.
Oh,
It would be Amazon own brand £300 doll's house. Well, it's like the Xbox off meme, which was probably the first of these. Which I'm sorry to anyone that has an Xbox 360, that's still a problem.
I think it's Xbox One.
I think it was Xbox One. That was what I was about.
Yeah.
Xbox One.
Connect.
Connect, yeah. Because it was designed that you could control your media center with your voice, including the thing you're watching, asking it to turn itself off.
As I used to shout, people used to shout at the voice calls and hope they could get it out of people. Now, if you're playing with the setting enabled,
Yes,
which
and not got headphones on because people also didn't have headphones on.
I imagine a lot of people playing a game on the TV will just have the TV on.
In voice chat, or you hoping that the person's got can listen to voice chat?
I wouldn't have a mic, but I would just
Choose the connect on top of the TV.
shout at the
Voice
TV
chat
in the
with
living
people.
room. I think I played a competitive online game for a very long time.
No. Okay. It accepted our console. No, it accepted our Ansible. That's what it's like.
Have we set up? We haven't set up the service cascade yet, have we?
No. No, I will still need to log in and manually start everything. Maybe that's something we should do next stream.
Yeah.
Early in
that'd
the
be
stream,
one to
depending
do.
on where we'll do.
It's a useful thing. Hopefully, shouldn't
I
take
can
too
hook
long.
up our AI agent to our server, so you can just do the restart for us.
So it can start our services.
Oh god.
I'm
Terrible way to solve that problem.
I'm sorry. It's just now that I have an agent, I'm like, how can you help me?
Why isn't this just a prompt file? That's the real question.
I should just message on Discord or on my phone, be like, hey, I need this service up now. Done.
Instead of just having it restart, start on server boot, you just make sure you're like, I've rebuilt my server. Tell my AI to go and turn it on again.
You make sure on server start, it sends a message to Discord atting the AI agent, asking it to start all its services.
You guys, you overcomplicate. Just relax. I'll demo something later. Actually, no. If you just check Discord, you'll see anyways. In the
Well,
bot rubbish.
You shouldn't have to go, hey, do something bot. That's the like. And the problem with something's manual, it might as well be manual. Obviously, it's generating stuff. That's fine.
Yeah, but you could give it like, oh, go do this, but then that task, sorry, what you've asked it to do might have like multiple tasks behind it.
Just set up open code on all of the servers we build, and then on server start, you just start a set code session with the prompts of what you want that server to eventually be, and it'll get there.
Your client in it, your code in it file is just a prompt.
different service files each time.
That, granted, that may not be a bad, like, POs I could actually go.
Yeah, if you just have a generic image that is an AI builder thing. Is it something that could be useful?
Need to restart. I need to start the server. It's not the easiest GCP based I want.
Terraform organization soon saying for repo to spin out more projects and workspaces again. Get it all linking together.
It's a nice thing to have.
I think I may have done where it's still doing disks in a separate
repo.
I think we must do. Oh, the GitHub, the Packer files changed. That's fun.
The address list.
Yeah.
Was it like 16,000 records in there? I remember. That's not too bad.
4,000 unchanged, and it's adding and removing.
Ooh, that's adding to our resource count, right?
It's a single
it's-
resource.
Yeah, it's one block. We can't afford 16,000 resource blocks.
It's interesting, Terraform.
I'm going to say no, but I'm sure there's a hard limit.
Wasn't one of your original clients lived as a single
Terraform resource, and it would take hours to plan.
Oh, yes. And that Terraform CloudFormation stack would be... Oh, well, yeah.
I certainly, when I was dealing with it, it was because services weren't available in Terraform yet, and there was no such thing as AWS CC. So if you decide top down that everything needs to be in Terraform and a service isn't supported by Terraform, you get Terraform to apply CloudFormation stack.
Seems like a reasonable way to do it if you did it for single resources.
The problem is they never, when the resource then got into Terraform, they never did the work to bring into Terraform. They just kept using the...
So that temporary solution became the permanent solution. And every new work was worked on top of that. So if you're new, you'd be looking at Terraform, like, oh, where's this resource that you just deployed? Without knowing, there's no resource being deployed. Literally stacks.
Hey,
Anyways, we learned a lot from that.
Which one's the new one?
Pick one. Close your eyes.
will be this one because it's got different external IP. I assume you can list things like this.
We're about to find out. It works. I've never actually tried that. That's good to know.
It looks like it.
So what was you feeling before, or we just never turned it on?
It's not triggered to start.
Oh,
It's not, and the service isn't enabled, I think, is the...
Yeah, that's what Barnaby was talking about with the enabling services.
Yeah, so I think we were talking about the order last week. But I think we said it so Vault starts then console, and then the Vault agent service waits for the Vault service to be happy, and then the console service waits for the Vault agent service to be happy. So they just start sequentially. And we're talking about having a marker file that the Vault agent, that Vault checks for to make it start, so that we can kind of, the last step of our Packer build is we place a marker file on a server to mark it as a live image. So if we have this sort of layer build approach, we don't end up creating node IDs on servers. We've still not fixed that.
No, I'm just an idiot. It's fine. I told it to start I told it to be true instead of false. When I said it, because what I did is within server, it's like if TLS do this, else do this, but this should be false. So now I can get into it. Visual console ID. Oh no.
Yeah, I'm intrigued whether it won't keep your. If we had DNS set up, it would have kept your token because it's stored in a cookie, but it doesn't understand cookies cross IP.
Yeah. So give me 1 sec to log back into everything.
Have you ever done anything with cross-site cookies or cross-site tracking?
I always remember people saying it was a great attack vector for stuff, but never found a legitimate use case.
No, I don't think I have. I mean, I may have done.
Granted, actually, my client. I realised I was going to log into console stuff. That doesn't matter. It's DNS. DNS is all terminal based. Where we have to go is dig console.console, and it not be that one.
Yeah. Do you want to check the resolve.d's rendered properly?
Yes, let's look. C/C/ resolve.
The file.
resolv.conf. No, but this is the directory that we created.
Let's check if it's this. Just doing it last.
Oh no, sorry, it's that.
Yeah, I guess the other
Can't
thing is
it- Yeah, there should be a system link. That's fine. That's fine.
Cut.
Cut. So, that looks correct, and they've got a.
Oh, I was waiting to be able to read it, and then you just moved it. After domains, what is there in that line? Domain.
tilde console.
Tilde console.
Yeah, is it just one tilde or
Yeah.
equal?
Equals
You think
tilde.
equals tilde?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the jig that works. That's the thing that doesn't.
We need to check. Is there a way that we can validate the name servers without doing a dig? Directly to get it to spit out its name servers.
It says that should be the final one. It's name server. Then you can do. And let's lookup will be name servers, wouldn't it?
I think so.
That's nice. We'll look up. Because that's saying 53. Well, that's not a correct DNS. This is the stuff that I will start doing. And I'm like, now how to test DNS. So the big thing, so I can still dig like Google. Like that bit still works. That's important.
Does Resolve merge files in its comp folder?
Normally. Or maybe we don't need one.
I guess you could try adding our block to this file and reload it.
Actually, I'm just curious if this is going to give anything. No, there are lots of console stuff.
It takes a while for it to get its comp token and then it restarts, which gives a bit of noise at the beginning.
Yeah, well, it's XE, so if something was erroring, that would.
When we build,
I found the command.
when we build it, do we do a daemon reload?
It doesn't matter. The server restarts.
Does that reload the daemons, or is it just picks it up?
I would assume so. Okay, here we go. So this is the Resolve service. So this is the Resolve system. So it is picking on global. It is picking up the DNS server. So Resolve. This is what this is. I'm very glad I asked an AI. It is showing. This seems to work. But this, which is the query, doesn't.
If we do console.console, does that pick up?
No.
Yeah, but when you point to it directly with dig, it finds it.
Yeah. The other ones I want is what is GDC/. Oh, this is the. So that is pointing to this stub thing.
don't know if this.
That's the 5.3,
The
so
other one. Didn't copy. Like, because current DNS is probably the default one, which is the same as local. And it's just the console stuff, isn't it? Oh, this is
Well, I
saying
guess.
the output said exactly what was wrong, but didn't explain what. Okay. So it's ENS routing that overrides the global.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, so it's doing this first, so it doesn't hit the global one.
So maybe we can force ours to be. Do we set it as link 3 instead of global?
We literally just turn off this as the default DNS.
Okay, so that is obviously Ansible commands. Let's test non-Ansible first. So this is good. Save the default root for
DNS4. This is still this server. The domains are different. That may cause problems, but we're not using the Google internal domains for anything anyway. So it's probably fine.
What are Google internal domains for? Are they for calling Google services?
It's calling the servers by hostname. Same as AWS, you can call servers by their hostnames.
Yes.
But we're using console, so. And now, if I do that, still doesn't work. I'm gonna do so if I now do the status, I think that's still the same as before.
That looks the same.
Yes, this is the fun thing about the cloud is they obviously layer on all their DNS stuff.
It's fine. I'm sure there's nothing that will break if we really mess up DNS.
Oh, so let's change. Say you want to change current server to our local one. I don't know if that's true.
Give it a go. My guess would be that. Yeah. I'm curious if we set the current one to our local one, whether it will break everything that's not console.
Well, that's where you can set the console resolved, but it may break the like. So you can say tell the console like, "Hey, pass through." I think this is about as far as I've got with console DNS in the past. And normally just being like, oh, I don't know. And it's suggesting DNS mask. So it's suggesting adding a different service of the DNS, or turn off so it's suggesting telling DHCP to stop DNS to the link to. So it's pretty much saying turn this off. Or we set up.
That's surely going to break the server.
Oh, I'm sure it will. Or set up DNS mask, which is probably more correct. Because that is a.
I guess my
Yeah.
my worry is if we turn DNS off.
That breaks
God,
everything.
timing all over the place. Yeah. If the DNS is turned off, I think, do we fetch anything at boot from Google Secret or anything like that? Or is it all baked in?
Oh, well, on start, we get all the creds, but that should happen. Well, that happens on Vault Start, which would be after this is all loaded in. And we need this to be able to handle console not existing as well for the DNS.
Yeah.
I think we set up DNS mask. We have obviously 10 minutes. I can very quickly copy and paste all the code that the AI has given me in. We build the image and see what happens. Or we call it a stream on the cliffhanger and deal with it next week.
I think put the code in, trigger the build, and then call it a stream. So you've got the full cliffhanger ready to go.
If the code has some breaking changes, then we'll fix it next week.
Breaking changes to the system that's not working. It's just changes at that point.
It's not working. It's not broken.
Base task. I mean, this is the benefit of what we're doing. Is there's no. I don't have to like clean up the stuff I've just done. So it installs DNS mask, obviously through apt.
I don't know why it loves apps so much.
I told it was Ubuntu, so it's just like, oh yeah, she's out. So it then sets up DNS mask.
Notify.
It then.
Wait, is that the name you give the notify? Restart DNS mask.
That's a notify. Oh god. Tab systemd. Node files. Remove system link and static. And then it did give me a notify block. Which you can go here.
Now we do.
I feel like the DNS providers, there's like 3, 4 of them, and I have no idea why I choose one over the other.
Wait, I know Cloudflare and Google.
No, it's in like resolved DNS mask, like
Oh, that's what you mean.
internal stuff.
Server side. Yeah, it'd be nice to find someone that really knows this in level of detail. Because I think the stuff in mine can be a little bit vague about what it does and how it all works.
It's that you either understand this or you don't. Good luck.
Yeah, it feels like it should be simple.
I feel like there should be a DNS provider that you should use. I think even the console docs. I can't find them because they're a little bit hidden or somewhere. When I was looking at DNS before, it was like, here's the 4 different ways you can do this. It's like I just want one. Just give me Hashi. Tell me which DNS provider I should use for console, and I will use that one. Don't be like, depending on which one you've got installed, oh, by the way, there's no easy way of seeing which one you have installed.
I can see why they have 4 though, because if you're in an enterprise and you've kind of invested time into a DNS solution, you don't want to rip it out just for another service.
And I'm sure you've got a networking guy that really cares about which DNS provider you're using.
Maybe if we knew more about it, we would care more.
Yeah, maybe. The fact we're using Console instead of handcrafting our own DNS solution is maybe proof we don't. Just build our own service mesh. It'll be fine.
Isn't that the whole point? You just vibe code everything these days. Start from fundamentals and rebuild the entire ecosystem.
Yeah, start with building your kernel.
Yeah, there's not that many different kernels. You've got Windows and the Linux kernel.
You've got Windows, Linux, and Mac. Mac and Linux are based on Unix, but they are separate kernels.
Fair enough.
The Linux kernel is doing some fun things for gaming and emulation, which is nice. I saw a thing saying Linux kernel 6. I don't know, there's still another major number, which is fun.
Don't keep that up to date with the Linux ecosystem, but it'd be nice if they can get gaming running well on Linux, because I think a lot of people are getting to the point where they want to move away from Windows to an extent.
Yeah,
we get in there.
My handheld, I moved to SteamOS now, so that's now Linux. And yeah, the newest big thing for the world of gaming was some way that the Windows file manager works used to be done through Wine in a, I'm not going to say hacky way, but like they use 2 services to trick the APIs, whereas now it's got a service that is baked into kernel level. That's not a good sign. But yeah, it's now one service that's like baked into the kernel level, which is nice. I imagine I've not done an apt update.
Is it not? I can't remember if it's default in the packages.
This is where we need I suppose console is technically our base. So this is a nice way of a base thing. This is, oh, we already have an apt update.
I wonder if it's called something else than the package library it's looking for.
No package matching DNS and SQ is available.
It's MSQ or something.
Fine, let's
Grab a favorite to install it from somewhere else.
That's one of those things you should probably be looking more into, is like using the system that already exists. But if this doesn't work, something weird's going on because I can run it locally. I can run it by just logging to the box. It's after a update block because like the first thing we do is run an apt update, unless it's the distribution name isn't lowercase u, it may be uppercase u. Is that something that my like? I did like a review of our code. There.
It's interesting, the package that installs DNS.
Yeah, this says
Audible.
Ubuntu is uppercase. So that the error may be that actually it skips the
The role that installs DNS mask and configures it goes through all the different installers instead of using package to do it. So I wonder if there is something in the package that's not working for this.
Yeah, I've seen a few Ansible playbooks for multi-distro that just uses their own package manager repos. I think it may just be the standard. And also, if you're having to apt update and yum update or whatever, it makes sense. I realised what I'm actually thinking about. I could have checked on this one. Yeah, update is skipping. It's because Ubuntu is uppercase U. So this will still fail. Is this not an update?
You know what that means?
Job for next week.
Smart man. What's that commit style called? You know, when you have fix,
It's-
chore.
I think conventional commits is the like.
It has a name.
Yeah, conventional commits. I used to call them semantic commits, but it's this thing.
Conventional.
And yeah, you've got feet, fix.
The one I'm not used to using is chore. What's that exactly for? Because I
Changing
think chore is
something
more
that's
for updating. Sorry, which is Barnaby?
It's essentially you're changing something that doesn't have a meaningful impact on the code base. So you'd be rewording something or kind of running something.
So the only thing the spec cares about is fix, feet, and breaking change. The rest of it is just what you think you're doing. Like, if I am creating a keep file just because I need a folder to exist, like that's a chore. You could say formatting could be a chore for some people. Like it's
Because I notice AI uses chore. Like, for example, if it's about going from one version to another, regardless of what kind of version, you will say chore.
yeah.
So that's why, yeah.
Because it's not. I mean, you're not really doing anything. Like. You're welcome to take us home whenever you're ready. I'm just
All
going
right.
to get this working. I'm just going to keep trying to get this working.
Yeah, I forgot. That's how you work. Barnaby, you got anything for us?
I ain't got anything. You were the one in charge today.
Oh no, it's not. It's not that for you to take home. It's just like before I close off, maybe you want to give us some word of wisdom or anything fancy that's been going on in your life right now.
No nuggets of advice.
Have something ready for us for next week, please. That's your
some
homework.
pre-canned inspirational quotes.
I know it won't be AI, so we'll be waiting. But yeah, thank you all for joining us today. Please like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you don't miss any of our videos. Also drop a comment if you want want to let us know what you'd like to see more of as well. That would be nice. We will read them all, most likely Barnaby or James. Yeah, thank you all. See you next week. Bye.
I